Volunteers are the backbone of many organizations and startups. When you think about volunteering, do you think of volunteering your time, your money, your resources? No matter how you volunteer, know that you're making a difference. Today, I'm going to tell you about the journey to become a crisis counselor through Crisis Text Line, a proactive volunteer organization that helps its users move from a hot moment to a calm cool. So I'm going to start by telling you how you can actually apply for the position, and then I'll tell you about the training process, and then finally I'll tell you about how you actually do your volunteer work. So before you can begin volunteering, you must apply for the position, and so to do that, you go onto the crisistextline.org website and then just hit the Apply Now button. This super easy process takes about 30 minutes. Before you begin your application, you agree to a couple things. These being that you're 18 years of older, you have a valid social security number, that you're willing to commit to 4 hours a week, a year, you consent to a background check, and then agree that you have reliable internet access. So the application includes questions ranging from your opinions on commonly seen topics such as religion, LGBTQ issues, family planning, and crimes committed by or against the texter. The application also asks about your ability to mentally handle discussing things such as suicide and self-harm. In a self-reflection portion of the application, you're asked to answer questions in regards to empathy. So these questions are answered on a scale of 1 to 5, 1 being I don't agree, this isn't me, or 5, this is totally me. And so they ask questions like, I don't feel sorry for others when they're going through a hard time, or when I'm upset with someone, I try to put myself in their shoes for a while. And so they use these questions to gauge whether or not they believe that you would be a good crisis counselor and that you would be able to help someone while still being able to take care of yourself, because it's not a job for anybody. You also have to provide 2 references from either someone who's supervised you before or someone who's known you for more than a year and can speak on your character. So if your application is selected to move forward, you are required to complete a 34-hour, 8-week training program. And so this training program is in place to help teach the crisis counselors the skills that they're going to need on the platform to talk to texters. And so these skills include reflective listening, collaborative problem solving, and crisis management. So I don't have access to my training platform anymore because I am no longer training, but I have my little cheat sheet that I still use while I'm using my talking to texters now. And so these are some of the things that they teach you during your training. So you have good contact techniques. I'm so sorry. Good contact techniques, validations, of course, identifiers, and then also things how to ask open-ended questions and just some strength ID examples. And so that's just a glimpse of what you learn on the training sessions. You also learn a little bit more about situations and things that texters text in the most, and so this includes depression, suicide, eating disorders, bullying, anxiety, for example. You complete assignments that test your understanding of these lessons, and so these assessments include questions about the topic, and they have you come up with example text as well. Before your training is actually complete, you go through a 30-minute role play with your coach where they act as a texter and you respond, and they can give you feedback on that. You also observe a 2-hour shift on the platform where your coach is talking to real texters in real time, and so you kind of get to see how that works and get a taste for what you will actually be doing. So once you pass your training, you finally become a crisis counselor and you're ready to begin supporting those in need. So I can't actually show you the platform because of HIPAA violations, but I drew an example of what the platform looks like because I wanted you guys to just have an idea. So this is on the computer. We help those they text in, so the texters text in, we answer on the computer. And so you can see it just has your previous conversations, who's on the platform right now with you, your supervisor, and then most importantly, this help another texter button. And so once you log in and you're settled and you're ready to start talking, you click the help another texter button, and it's like a queue, and so whoever gets there first gets the first conversation and so on. And so when it's your turn to get the conversation in line, it'll pop up. And so what it looks like is, I lost my little thing. Oh my gosh. Sorry. So what it looks like is this. And so It just says, the texter's ID or their name if they have texted in before, your conversation, and then down the bottom is where you type. There's also options to flag your supervisor if you need help. There's example messages that you can set up, so something that you say a lot, and then you also have different options like a synonym toggler that helps you come up with different words so that you don't sound robotic. So when you first begin, you can only grab one conversation at a time, but as you level up, you can grab more conversations. So for example, I'm a level 3, which means I've had over 100 conversations, and so I can grab up to 5 at a time if I wanted to. When your conversation ends, you close out the conversation, and then you get to answer a little survey about what you talked about. And so you just kind of, you select what was mentioned by the texter, a brief summary of what y'all talked about, and then if you gave them any coping skills that y'all agreed on, and if you gave them any referrals. And that's how you do it. And so again, I'm going to show this, and so I showed this at the beginning, but this is actual texter sentiment. So these are things that texters have said about their conversations with Crisis Text Line. And so volunteering can be a wonderful way to give either your time, your money, or your resources in a way that makes you feel good. And so Crisis Text Line volunteers are making a proactive difference across the United States by guiding their texters to a cool calm. I've given you guys the process that's required to become a crisis counselor with Crisis Text Line. So you must first apply via the Crisis Text Line organization website, complete the 34-hour training, and then you're ready to start supporting texters and make a difference. Thank you.